Welcome to Pap Smear Podcast, where we don't just scratch the surface, we go deeper. And today's guest this is like a chapter 2, really. This is my love, my best friend, and my partner, Brandt Anderson. He's a writer, director, producer. He's here this time, and we're just going to talk about his new film called I Was a Stranger. And we touched on it last time, but we're going to dive right into it. And I'm just like, I'm so happy to have you on again.
Thanks for that intro.
Are you excited?
To be here?
No, for the movie.
Oh, yeah.
This is, we said it yesterday. I said it yesterday where I was like, let's just like remember. I think like in this business, and I'm speaking for me in television, we can get lost in the weeds. But like what's right in front of you is a huge moment, is the premiere of the film.
I'm so excited about it. I mean, it's like 10 years in the making. It's almost 11 years in the making now.
It's insane.
And it's like, it's like you said, it's hard to stay just in the moment of what's going on, because it's like, it's very easy. I don't know. For me, it's very easy to say like, what's coming next? What am I working on next? Like, okay, that's done. But I am very excited for so many people to see this film.
It's not done.
Yeah,
it's just beginning.
It's just happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I understand your brain, but I want everyone else to understand it. But like, you're just constantly going in your head. You're like, how do I focus on what's next instead of like staying so present and almost like, I wish you would just like let December go by. You know what I mean? Like where you just lived in it, like, and let it build up to it, because it's going to be huge. And I know it's going to be huge. I mean, I told you, I looked at the theater list 2 days ago in Vegas, and it's already at like 6 different movie theaters on January 9th. And this film is a film that I love. This film is a film that you, very early on in our relationship, you were like very nervous. And you were like, I want you to watch my movie. And then I was nervous because I'm like, what if I hate it?
Yeah, which...
I could have.
Yeah.
I called all my girlfriends.
I think
like,
you would have been honest about that.
100% I would have been honest. You know I would have been honest. The minute that film finished, because we watched it, just the two of us at the Soho House in Chicago. Remember, it just like worked? It was like we just called the guy and we just happened to get in there that night. And it was just you and I in the movie theater. I remember you tried to talk to me and I was like, no. Remember I was like, please don't.
Yeah.
And then at the end, and I was hiding crying, by the way, because we were like newly dating. Because I'm so tough. Yeah, I didn't want you to see me being weak. But like I was hiding it. And it was a movie where like I'm not a huge movie goer. I do tend to, I don't know how to choose movies and I don't know how to choose music. You know this.
Yeah.
But I have good taste. And your movie is not what I was ever expecting. Like at the end of it, I just remember feeling so much and so deeply in a way that I didn't think I was going to, for a subject matter that wasn't something that was at the forefront of my thought process. And then all of a sudden it was, and has been since that day. And so what you did for me is what I've watched you do for thousands of people when we toured with your film last summer, going to all the film festivals. But I want to start from the beginning, because 11 years, I haven't known you that long. I know so much about you, but I want everyone to hear your heart, because this movie, it started as a feeling for you. And I want to go further than 11 years. Can we go back a little longer?
Yeah.
Like you growing up, you were like at the service of other people. You grew up Mormon. You went on a mission. You still to this day think of others before you think of yourself. And so that's instilled in you.
Yeah. That's something that, I think that comes in part because of of the way I was raised. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's yeah, we were talking about that yesterday. I think
Yeah.
that's one of the teachings of the church that is, I think it serves a lot. It's something that in measure is a really good teaching from the church. I think it can go too far, but I think
Yeah, but you
but
see the
in
good
part,
in
there's a
what.
lot of good in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of good in it.
I see so much good in you, and
Yeah.
I know that's a part of you.
Yeah.
And so you then you grew up, you lived your life, but like you always loved movies, you always loved film, right? You always
Yeah.
knew this is what you wanted to do.
Yeah, like my love for film started very early on, and it was also a way that it was a way for me to kind of escape. So at 11, I moved to France, and it was a way for me to kind of stay connected like both to the United States. So it was a way for me to keep like seeing American films. And then it was also a way for me to be in other worlds that kind of weren't that I wasn't allowed to be into as a kid.
Like which movie?
That sounds a little erotic.
No, like which movie though?
Well, I mean, like for example, like very transformative movies that I remember seeing when I was young. Like I remember the experience when I was really young of going to see E.T. with my grandma.
Yeah.
And it was like I just remember being like, this is a crazy feeling of sitting here watching this movie. And then getting older, I remember sitting in the theater and watching Pulp Fiction, not knowing what I was going in to see as a senior in high school, and then going and seeing it several more times the next week.
Because you loved it.
Because I was like, I don't know what this is I'm watching on screen, but it's crazy. And I'm like, I've never met gangsters, but like they're awesome.
Were you in Switzerland then?
Yeah, I was in Switzerland. I lived in
I've
Switzerland.
never met gangsters,
But
they're
they were like
awesome.
crazy. And the way that it was shot and the way that you were seen, interestingly, so like I Was a Stranger is, I didn't think about this when I was writing it. I didn't think about it when I was shooting it. But after I was done editing the film, and I was actually on my way to Zion with my youngest son. And I was like, have you ever seen Pulp Fiction? And he was like, no. I was like, okay, when we're in Zion and we're camping one night, we're going to watch Pulp Fiction. So we're sitting there, we're watching Pulp Fiction. And he's like, whoa, this is crazy. I'm like, yeah. And I realized like actually part of the way that I shot the film was similar to Pulp Fiction. And I'm like, it was an inadvertent just inspiration that I got from Pulp Fiction.
From when you were a teenager.
I didn't think about it as I was doing the film, but it was like embedded into me. And I think films like that, they stuck with me, and they took me to other places. And it was safe. It's a safe way to experience a different part of life that you can't go into. I wasn't going to go sit in a gangster's car. I wasn't going to hopefully be in their trunk, but I got to experience that part of life. And I mean, I could talk about other films that did that. I got to experience Vietnam through Terrence Malick's film. I got to experience Empire, like another part of war through Empire of the Sun. Just like beautiful films that took me to these other parts of life, and it changed the way I felt, and it changed the way I thought, and it changed the way that I looked at life. And like I would come out of theaters and I knew if I had seen a good film or felt a good film, I would be like, wow, I'm different. I'm different now. And like I want people to come out of I Was a Stranger and be like, wow, I feel differently.
They're going to.
Well, I want them to.
Every single person, unless they're a monster, is going to come out of this film feeling so many things. And like I wonder, like for you, like when you grew up, like were you more like you were changed? You would see a film and you were changed, but would it change the way you would be in this world, or was it an escape for you?
I think it would change the way that I looked at the world. And I don't think it was like, it wasn't an escape, meaning like I would go in there and then I was just like,
Transported.
I was transported and then it was over. Like I would go there, I would feel differently, and it would change the way I looked at the entire world. So, it was like, it was a different kind of teacher for me. Like it was changing the way my heart felt.
Yeah.
And I mean, Pulp Fiction is maybe not a heart-moving film, so to speak, but
No, but the format of it. I remember early on you said you were like, I was so inspired by it. And then like it's part of you.
yeah,
And so then that part of you went and made this movie. And this is not your first movie. This is the first movie that you wrote. This is the first movie that you directed. But this is not the first movie you produced.
no.
You've
it's
produced
30.
over 40 films?
30.
30 films.
Yeah, over 30.
And like, when did you, because when was your first experience with refugees? Because this movie is about, for everyone, this movie is about the Syrian refugee crisis. And it follows the lives of different people navigating the same storm. And the way that you've told the story, it's just the fact that like when I watched it, I'm like, oh my God, you wrote this? When I would hear the words like in the script, and I was like thinking about like, where did that come from? And I asked you those things like, what was this from? Or what made you feel this way? Or what did this remind you of? Whatever. It's like, that's a big deal. This is your directorial debut, love. This is a
Thank you.
massive, like, I know that you do this for me. You sit across from me and you say things I don't see. You feel for me things that I'm not feeling right in the moment that I should. And so I want you, hopefully through our conversations privately, but then like here, like just remember, like this is the most special moment. You've had a lot. You've had a lot in your life. But this is, I would hope that this is a core, what was it called?
Core memory?
This is a core memory.
Yeah.
Because I know it's going to be massive. It's going to change the way people feel and act in this world. Obviously, helping people is part of you
Yeah.
and started very young.
Yeah.
What's your first memory of saying, I care more about others than I do for myself?
My first memory of that? I'd have to really search for that. I don't know. I mean, I think I did that for my sister,
Cammy?
my older sister. Yeah. I'm sure that would be the first memory I would have of that. But I don't know. I went like when I moved to France at 11, I was in a very international school. It was interesting because we learned French with a bunch of other cultures. So we were learning French from French. So that's kind of hard to imagine, but we're in a French school, and in my class there were Algerians, there were Moroccans, there were Africans, there was a Finnish girl, there were no other Americans other than my sister and I.
That's it? It's just you two?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
There were no other, the Finnish girl spoke a little English, but there were no other English speakers at first, for sure. And like every day we would learn French from our French teacher, and we would learn it from French. And so like here she stands up, she holds an apple and she says pomme, right? So she's trying to teach you, this is how you say apple, right? And that's how you start learning French. Everyone's in the same boat. No one spoke any French. Well, that's a hard way to learn, but you learn quickly because you're really basically fighting for your life.
You have no choice.
Yeah, you have no choice. Well, it was a tough environment because this is like during the Iraq War. Here are two Americans in this class. You've got a bunch of Arab kids who have been exiled from their country, and we learned pretty quickly they didn't like Americans because they blamed us that they'd been kicked out of their country. And they weren't going to, pick on my sister, so they picked on me. And I didn't understand it at the time because really I just wanted friends. And but that's how it started. And that happened very quickly and frequently. But one thing that I realized really fast that we did have in common was sports. So I started playing basketball, and all of a sudden we became friends because we played basketball together. So that ended very fast. They stopped picking on me, and we found common ground. We ended up becoming very good friends. And I realized, like, despite what happens in people's pasts or what causes people to not get along, you can find ways to get along if you just can get past, if you can get past the things that separate us. And when we left that school after a year, I was sad to go. I think they were sad. They were sad to see me go. And I've found that to be the case ever since then. I've never had any issues with nationality since that day, ever. So,
But would you say that was like your first encounter with refugees?
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah.
you got to learn their stories,
Yeah,
and their struggles, and
that was my first encounter with refugees.
and
They were all refugees.
right. I was going to say most of them, right?
We were the only ones that were not. I
Yeah.
mean, we were not refugees. We were there because my dad had been assigned there for his church calling.
Yeah. And but you just kept that, I don't know, that way of being. It's
Yeah.
who you are. So here you are now growing up. You went to France, you went to Switzerland, you came back to Utah. You
I went to Chile.
graduated. You went to Chile for your mission. You speak Spanish.
Yeah.
But
I lived in Germany.
when did you live in Germany? Wasn't that just a couple months?
No, I lived there for 6 months.
Okay,
I don't
6
speak
months.
any German, but
Yeah.
I lived in Germany.
I would think I would know that.
If I spoke German,
Yeah. If all of a
'Cause of
sudden
your
you started
affinity for
speaking
German?
German, I'd be like, then you are going to Oktoberfest
Yeah.
with me.
and then
So-
I lived in Jordan for a long time. I lived in Turkey for a long time.
But during the film.
Yeah.
So let's get to the film, because this is something that I want people to know the man that I know and love, and not just from what they read and what they see. I want them to hear from you. So it's like, what made you want to write this movie? Where did it start? I know the story, but tell everybody, like, how did this come about? Because the movie used to be called The Stranger's Case.
Yes.
And only recently, with its distribution through Angel, was it then changed to I Was a Stranger,
Yes.
which is just like it grew on me. So I do love it.
Yeah.
But what made you write the film, and how did it start for you?
So during the Arab Spring, which was started in about 2012, it was kind of at the same time that in the U.S. we were experiencing like the financial crisis. And in the Arab world, they had the Arab Spring, which was like an uprising that they were having against Arab leaders in basically every country. And in the Arab world, Arab leaders handled it in different ways. You look at a country like Jordan, which is very well run. The king of Jordan brought people in and was able to calm everybody down, and then the country continued moving forward. Then you look at other countries, you look at a country like Tunisia, it threw Tunisia into like total upheaval. Lebanon, same thing. You look at a country like, you look at Syria. In Syria, which had a very, had a dictator in place, Syria's dictator said, I'm not going to put up with this. So during the Arab Spring, some boys scribbled some writings on a wall, and that kicked off a civil war in the country. And that started a series of events where he started killing his own people and bombing his own people. And what that led to a full civil war in Syria, which led to millions of people being displaced and fleeing the country. And I found what was going on in the Arab world just to be it moved me.
Through news, watching the news, through
Initially through watching the news, and then because the people in Syria were fleeing their own country, I wanted to find a way to help. And so that took a couple of different forms. First, I started traveling to Greece to see, and to Turkey to see.
with who?
I would go and link up with NGOs. So I would go and help on the banks of the Aegean Sea on both sides, Turkey and on Greece. Helping to, I would help film. I would help bring people out of the water. I would help raise money for groups.
Is that when you started the Real Foundation?
No, I started the Real Foundation later.
Okay.
I was doing that independently.
Okay.
Then as Assad, who was the dictator in Syria, started bombing his own people, I started doing things like raising money for schools for like early alert systems. So one of the things that we did was raise money to put this early alert system into 126 schools that would give kids like 12 minutes, a 12-minute head start to get out of those schools before they were being bombed.
Oh, I didn't know you did that.
Yeah, because schools were being hit with gas, and it was just, as I was seeing these images, it was just I could not believe the images that were coming out of Syria. I could not believe that a person could treat anyone this way, but much less his own people this way. And as I got to know the Syrian people that I was meeting in these different places, and by the way, Syrians were really focused in Turkey and Greece, but they were going to Jordan as well. They were going to Spain. They were going to France. They were going to Germany. I was so touched by these people because they were some of the greatest people I had ever met. They were like such warm-hearted, good people, and who were just so grateful for the help and so appreciative of anything that they would receive, and people who wanted to be in their home. They weren't, for the most part, they weren't looking to leave. They were looking to stay, but they could not stay. So it was later on that I started the Real Foundation in response to try to find greater ways to help people, particularly to help kids express themselves through art. But
where were you? Weren't you on the plane or something and you started jotting things down?
Yeah. So,
and what trip was that? You were coming back from where?
I was coming back from Turkey.
Okay.
And it was one of those early days of the first. It was like early days in the Trump presidency, the first Trump presidency, when there was a laptop ban, and so you couldn't, like, it had just been announced you couldn't take your laptop on the plane. So in Turkey, like, they made you check your laptop as you got on the plane. And I bought a pad of paper and I just started making notes on some of the stories that I had heard when I had been over there. And when I got back, I started jotting like this story down, which ended up becoming one of the stories that's in I Was a Stranger. It's actually the poet's story in I Was a Stranger was the first story. Yeah. And the way that the story is structured is there are 5 stories. And in each of the stories, it focuses on one story, and then every other story kind of becomes the background in the story, in the other stories. So it's the poet's story. It's the third story in, fourth story in.
Yeah, because it's this, in essence, I mean, the film as a whole is like historical fiction.
Yeah.
But but based on some real stories
Yeah.
that you heard. So it's amazing that you can take just a little something like that and just weave it into real feelings of absolute devastation and then beauty at the same time.
Thanks for saying that.
Yeah, that's how I feel. I just like I can't believe I watched you not give up. You've never gave up on this film. I think it was a year and a half ago, we were sitting together at the kitchen island and you're like, I'm going to submit this film to every film festival. You went on, what was it called? Film Freeway or whatever.
Yeah.
And you submitted to hundreds of film festivals. And you're like, this is what I'm going to do. I want people to see it. Your goal has never just been I know you. You're not looking to be some big Hollywood, celebrity director. You're looking to tell real stories that create real change. And so I knew why you weren't giving up. It was like, how can this movie not be seen? And if the only way people can see this movie is at the film festivals that might have had 3 people in them, if one of them did, and then 3,000, some of them. But no matter what, there was a common thread, whether I was at them or not, was you brought people to tears. You had people lining up to talk to you because they felt so deeply. You created change in me. Before you, all my time and money would go into helping animals.
Which is not a bad thing.
Which I love. Don't get me wrong. I'm not
I love
stopping
animals.
that. But like all of a sudden it shifted things for me. So I would never have gotten involved with the refugee coalition in Chicago. I would never have asked my niece to put all her toys together to give it to the school. I have been able through you, been able to meet real refugees, hear their stories, feel their feelings, and understand why you love what you do. And it's not making movies because you're so damn good at that. It's helping people. And so that is what's going to come out of this because, again, common thread after when this movie comes out is just how do you not? One story that I think is amazing was, my friend Rachel, who was my producer on so many of my shows. She watched the movie, couldn't stop crying, called me the next day. She said, I've been watching the war in Ukraine for months. And it's just like on the TV. She's making breakfast. She's getting the kids ready for school. She goes, now I'm watching it. And then she opened up her home to have refugees in Chicago come and shower. That's the change that you created in one being that may never have looked at anything like that. And so here we are with this opportunity for people to feel your heart, see who you are through your film, because you were just the most beautiful human.
Thank you.
And this film means so much to you.
Yeah.
And in turn to me, because I want you to have everything that you want. And this is just the beginning. It's pretty crazy because you fought to get this movie in front of millions of people. You fought.
Yeah.
And you won pretty much every film festival. Was a standing ovation, tears everywhere, questions and curiosity. How can I help was the main question. And winning Best Director, Best Feature. You just swept it. And I just sat and watched you. And I loved watching it. And then you found your distributor, Angel Studios, who believe in it, who are putting it out there, who tested it. I mean, let's give it to them. That was insane. Watching the testing, how data-driven they are, listening to the actual viewer to come up with a new name. And I don't know,
the interesting thing is I did feel like there was some deep purpose for me to do this. I felt like when I wrote this, it like came into me. I wasn't a writer. I wasn't a screenwriter. And I do feel like it was, I've heard people when they write things of like, it's sort of like, it's almost like some sort of spiritual experience for them. And I did feel like it was that for me. It was some sort of very, it was a very special like experience for me to write it. And then getting it made was one of the hardest things I ever did. And then when I got it done, when I finished it, if it's ever finished,
I was like,
it
sorry,
never
when
feels
is it done?
quite finished, but if it's ever finished, and I am like kind of a perfectionist, of course.
Yeah.
So, and I think anyone who worked on the film could attest to that, and anyone who worked with me after the film could attest to that. You can attest to that probably, but like, I would be totally willing to go, like, I could sit here and say to you, like, movies I've produced, like, I could go, like, I was totally willing to say, I gave it a really good shot. It's not that good. Even like, I could step back enough from it and say, I was willing to say it was not that good. But when I finished it, I was able to step back enough from it, see how audiences reacted to it. And I was like, this is a really good film. It's a great film.
When did you first think that?
When I finished it.
When you finished it, or when you saw it in front of other people?
No, even when I finished it. I mean, I don't want to be like overly, I don't want to be like overly cocky about it. But I was
Love,
like,
you have to be
but I'm saying,
very clear.
But here's what I'm
It's
saying.
not
But here's
cocky.
what I'm saying about it. I was like, this is a good film. I know it's good. I know it's good enough that people are gonna like, that they should like the film if they'll see the film. They're gonna feel something when they see the film. And I've made bad movies, but this is a good film. I've made some bad movies, but this is a good movie. And like, so then tried to get it into several film festivals. It didn't get in, but it did get into Berlin.
Yes, it did.
Big film festival, one of the top 5. And I'm like, okay, here we go. This is like it. We're on the right track here. Gets into Berlin. Huge reaction at Berlin, both from the press and from, maybe not as much as I wanted from the press, but huge reaction from the audience. Like, long standing ovation from the audience, one of the longest. And then I'm like, it's gonna get sold right away. Immediately. No doubt in my mind. But it doesn't at all to anyone. And I think because of the subject matter. And I'm of the opinion that truly the subject matter of a film does not matter if you have a good company to market the film, as long as the film is really good and moving.
Yes and no. Because
but that's my opinion.
What happened after that?
Well, then the film won.
I'm saying what happened in this world right after that.
Well, nothing happened.
Yes, the war in Ukraine. Don't you remember? And then it became too touchy of a subject. It was always something.
My point being, like, I hear what you're saying. You're right.
It was
you're right.
But then it was so, at the same time, it was like people are paying attention.
Yeah.
For some reason, people are paying more attention to this war than others. Or is it that we just have all of this available to us through social media and seeing what's going on and really, really like feeling like you're there? But at the same time, you had I believe, just gotten back from Berlin. And here you are thinking, they're going to knock down the door
well,
here.
I just thought, yeah. And then it won the only award it could have won at Berlin. And then I'm like, it's for sure going to sell. And it didn't. And like, that's when, of course, I had that moment where I was like, forget it. I'm going to go out to every festival possible. And I'm like, I'm gonna submit it everywhere I can. And remember, like, the sales agent was like, don't do that.
A lot of people said don't do that.
And I'm like, no, I'm not going to listen to you.
No.
I'm going to just do it. I'm going to go see how people react to it. And then it was was so grateful you went with me because that made it so much fun. But you're right. It won everywhere we went. And then also like, it was even more than that, it was a beautiful experience to see how people reacted to it and to see the change that it made in people. And then to have, like, I remember one experience that really moved me at Deauville, which was such a fun place, Deauville, France, which was such a fun place to go. And actually, that was
that was one of the
biggest places to go.
Yeah.
Where a guy who was in his 20s, like not so far off from when I saw Pulp Fiction. And he came up to me and he goes, hey, I'm a film student in French. He came back around the back to find me. And he goes, hey, I'm a film student. And he was like, if I could just make a film like that, like you made, I would have, that's my dream, to make a film like you made. Your film has just like changed me. And I was like, shit, that's like me watching Pulp Fiction, like in Switzerland.
You were his Pulp Fiction.
I was like, that's it. I mean, I was like, that's incredible.
Okay, so that was a big moment.
This huge moment. It was a huge moment. And I think like, I mean, I still think I have better in me, but you're right. I want to make films that move people. I don't care how they move them. I just want to make films that move people and that get people to feel something deeply. That's what I want. That's really what I want to do. Because I think that's what we need to be changed. Like that's what I needed. So that's what I want to do. And like, as long as I can keep doing that, then I'll keep making films.
I know you will.
Keep trying to make films.
I know you will.
It's a lot of work, but I love it.
It's a lot of work, but you're so good at it. You're so good at it. I never knew you when you were making this movie, but I saw photos of you. You were like this big.
Yeah, I was skinny.
So you're not going to do that again. I promise you that. I'll be there to feed you. But you're not doing that to yourself again. Because I think I know, you may not see it, but I know what's about to happen to you, and it's going to be massive. It's going to be massive. This is that moment where then, you know what you were hoping right after Berlin?
Yeah.
And it didn't happen? This is what's about to happen.
I just want people to, you mean for people to grasp the film?
Yes.
Yeah.
You said to me one of the first times.
I just want people to go and experience the film. That's really, I think that's what any filmmaker really wants. Because you don't want to, I don't think you want to, let me speak for me. I don't want to make art in a vacuum. Even like specialized art. Like, I want to make art that people can experience, that's approachable. Even if it's about other lands or other people, or I want to make art that people can experience, because it's I want it to be approachable for people, because it takes people to places they haven't been. That's what I want.
Yeah.
And I think if you can take yourself and you can if you can put yourself on the people that are in this film, and you find yourself in one or more of the people on the film, then you're feeling something.
Yeah.
I think that's cool.
I love that. Are you kidding? It's amazing. That's what we heard from so many people. You
Yeah.
know, I was so drawn to The Smuggler, or I was so drawn to whatever character. And it's not even a character. These are real people that are going through this today, now, and probably and unfortunately for a long time. But you're creating the change that you want to see. Like, who did you in the movie, even though no one's seen it yet? And when do you want to put this out? Do you want to put it out like right before the movie?
I think you put it out. I think you put it out now. Anytime
Really?
you want. Yeah.
Okay, but then people won't know. But then they can go back and watch it.
Yeah.
But like, who did you like? There's a piece of you in every single one of them.
Yeah.
there
is.
I see it and I hear it
Yeah.
in the script. But like, you know, you've got you've got your dog Blue in there. You've got, like, I would think with the 3 kids, it's like your 3 kids,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You,
2 boys and a girl.
yeah, I mean, there's specific, I may not say this like verbatim, but there's lines in that movie that I know are just like you, all you, and something that like you feel like, I'm not going to say this one right, but I think it's when Yaya says, like, I'm exactly the man you raised me to be. And I just remember that first night at the Soho House watching the movie, and I was like, that's, I think, when I cried because I could feel you through that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there are lines that I would have wanted to say,
And haven't said.
haven't said. There are lines that I've said, or there are lines that have been said to me. There are Easter eggs throughout the whole film. Yeah, there are Easter eggs. Like, if you look at the, I don't want people to get too fixated on certain things in the film, but like,
Well, good writing is something to fixate on.
yeah, but I mean, I don't want anybody zeroing in on certain little details of the film, but there are Easter eggs throughout the whole film. Like, probably Easter eggs I haven't even told you because I haven't even thought about them till we're just talking about them now.
Well, tell
but,
me.
I have to be careful because I don't want to give too much away. But there's an X-ray in the film that's being reviewed by somebody.
Yeah.
And the X-ray, the name on the X-ray and the birth date on that is my daughter's.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah. So there's X-ray. There's like Easter eggs through the whole thing.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then there's like if you look for if you're looking for characters, this is why I wanted to make a movie that people want to go back and see multiple times. Which it's been a really long time for me. It's been a long time. I mean, I like the movie One Battle After Another this year. I've watched it twice, so I like that movie. But it's been a long time since there's been a movie that I wanted to see more than once. I like Sean Penn's performance in that movie.
I know you do. I can't wait to see it. Maybe tomorrow we'll watch it.
Yeah, I'll watch it with you again.
But this is a movie that you people are going to want to watch over and over. I've seen this film.
You've seen it a ton.
I've seen this film over 50 times. And I love it every single time.
You have seen it that many times.
But
I've seen it over 10,000 times.
I know you have.
Yeah.
And I just I think about sitting in like you did a lot of the post in Greece.
Yeah.
But then you came back and you came to LA to do some of the post to correct some things. And I just remember being in the studio with you one time. And it was just for sound.
Yeah.
And I thought I could hear a pin drop. Like, I have the best ears. You do. Because you would be like, I hear my own voice in that. Like, directing it.
Yeah.
I mean, you have.
Well, the sound engineer said no.
They all said no. Because I think they were like, moving on. But you were like, no.
It's in there.
This is it. Time code.
Yeah.
Fix it. Time code. Fix it. You put everything. I watched you put all of yourself into this.
It's weird how, like, the other day I had one. They sent me Angels redoing the title stuff. They sent it back to me and they were like, here it is. And I said, okay, it's fine, but the font is different than it was before. And they're like, no, it's the same font. And I said, no, I know it's different. It's definitely different. And they said, no, we think you're just seeing it with a different color, like a different, like.
You're like no.
We think you're seeing it with a different, like lens over it. And I said, no, it's definitely different. They came back to me like about 15 minutes later and they're like, you're right. It had a slightly different layer over it. I'm like, I think if you had a different bird flying through it in any frame, I would notice now. I mean, I've seen it so many times. I notice every little detail of it.
Are you going to go to it on January 9th?
I already bought tickets.
Where are we going?
I mean, I bought tickets for it here.
Oh, I thought we were going to be in LA. Well, who cares? Buy tickets everywhere.
Maybe we'll be in LA. Yeah, we'll buy tickets. We'll buy tickets in LA. Yeah, I bought early tickets to it for sure.
We got to do something.
Yeah.
We're going to do a big old premiere party.
Yeah.
It's got to be. Are you, I mean, your whole family has seen it,
Yeah.
right? Everyone
Once.
that,
Yeah.
yeah, everyone
The
that
kids have
you,
seen it
yeah,
multiple times.
of course.
Yeah.
But like, is there anything that you're nervous about? Like, are you know how I am with my premiere.
Yeah.
I get sick.
Yeah.
But like, how do you feel? Really? Like, or are you thinking that way? I know I try to have these moments with you where it's like, guess what's happening to you?
You're so good about that for me. Like you don't want me to like let the moment pass, which I have historically not been good about that. Like I will be like, just like moving on to the next.
Yeah.
I know.
But like,
I don't want to
why
do
can't
that.
this one be different? Why couldn't you
It can
just,
be.
right? But
No, it
like,
is. It will be.
and that's creating like a new habit
For
of
sure.
trying to be in that moment and go. And we had this amazing talk about it the other day where it's like the goal from day one, what you told me when I first met you about the film, when I finally knew what you did, you just said, I just want people to see it. I want people to change and help other people. I watch you help everyone, love. You literally, like the homeless guy that's like camping out next to the house. You don't just say, "Hey, I'm calling the cops." You're like, "Here's $50." You know, like you are just the most selfless person I've ever met. And there's beauty in that. And I know that that's like your mission in life. But also like there's the working on like making sure you're taking care of you. Because if you're not, then how are you going to keep making films like this to change so many people? Like I watch you get emotional now. Because why? Because it like makes your heart hurt. What is it? Because it's like I see you feel so deeply that it's like it's just the most beautiful thing. But like, what is it that makes you sad?
No, I'm not sad.
But happy sad.
Yeah, I try to take care of other people. Yeah.
Yeah. You take care of everyone.
Yeah, I try to. Yeah.
But there's you.
Yeah.
You
It's harder.
Right. But like, you're doing a really good job.
Of taking care of me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a little harder.
But
it's
you're
something
doing
I work
it.
on. Yeah, it's something
Little
I'm
by
working
little.
on. Yeah. It's something I'm working on.
I know
Yeah.
you are. I love watching you do that.
Yeah.
You're so self-aware. You're like not at all afraid to say it about your struggles.
Yeah, it's easier for me if I talk about it.
Yeah.
Because if I call it out, then like I work harder on it. So, yeah, it's always been easier for me to take care of other people. Cuz I have a pretty good sense of what other people need usually. Like I think I'm pretty good at sensing suffering. I'm pretty good at that.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I try to
Why do you think you're so good at it?
sensing suffering.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think people that I don't know. Maybe just because I'm an empathetic person.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, but like I see you and I watch you suffer through so much of it.
Yeah, but I'm trying. I mean, I'm trying not to.
Yeah.
I'm really trying not to.
I know.
But I struggle with mental health, so.
Yeah. But you are aware of it.
Oh, totally.
So many
yeah.
people don't, and
Totally.
I have never. I told you this, and I struggle with trying to help you because I've
Yeah.
never had that.
Yeah.
So you've opened my eyes to that.
Yeah.
Where I've had moments in my life where I've struggled, but like I know it's an ongoing struggle for you.
Yeah.
But you have a therapist. You are on it.
Yeah. Every week.
And you
Every
are
week.
not afraid to talk about it. And that's the
I
thing
always
is
talk
like,
about it. Yeah.
but the suffering is in you. And I think
Yeah.
that's why you can seek out suffering and try to help it. And through that, I think then you help yourself little by little. So I want you to make more films because I think, and I know every film after this is just helping you more too. Like it has to.
Yeah,
Because
I feel like I have to do it differently, like you said. I
yeah.
mean, I have to, but I do feel like it also, if it allows me to, I mean, like in this film, I was able to tap into some deep emotions that even I had. And so it's all these emotions that I saw from these people who were suffering, these amazing, beautiful people who were in their like worst moments. And I was able to tap into them, and they were so generous with what they were going through. But then also like, then I tapped into my, like even some of my difficult moments. And, like there's a moment where, where Brody and I, my oldest son and I were like, we were fighting the fires off our home and in Malibu, and we got closed in with the fires stupidly. And I had no idea that was going to happen. Or I never would have had him there. And I turned to him and I said, if you're worried, I'll get you. I'll find a way to get you out of here. And he turned back to me and was just as cool as could be and was like, "We're gonna be okay, Dad." And like, there's a line in the film where like it's the same role where the son reassures the dad that they're gonna be okay. And I used that in the film, so I tapped into that same emotion. And I think some of the most powerful films are where, or some of the most powerful writings are where you're able to like use some of your own, like some of your own experiences and tap into that for your own artistry. I know you can't always do that if you're writing Star Wars or you're creating something else, you probably can't do that. But I think in this case, I was able to do that. And I think it ends up making it that much more powerful. You like you can see the people in this story. They're real people, but also you can see the emotions of even, you can see some of my life is bled out on screen. Yeah. So, and
what parts?
That's one. I mean, there is the moment you mentioned with the soldier. There are moments in the soldier's story. There are moments between the doctor. I mean, every one of these moments are with their.
Well, the soldier one, what was that? Like, I know what the line is. I think I said it right.
Yeah, there's moments between the soldier and his dad. His dad wanted him to be one thing, and his dad turns out to be unhappy with how he's turned out. So there are some moments in that I felt were relevant to my story.
Like you said, things that you haven't been able to say.
Yeah, maybe some things where I feel like maybe that are unsaid with even my own dad. There is a lot of, this is basically turned out to be an exploration between kids and their parents. You've got a teenage daughter with her mom, who's a doctor. You've got a father and son, a soldier and his dad. You've got a smuggler and his young son, and he's trying to provide for his son, but in a very by smuggling people, by human trafficking. So he's like this incredible dad, but yet what he's doing is he's smuggling people to provide for his sick son. So it's kind of confusing.
Yeah, you like hate him, but you love him.
You hate him,
yeah.
But you love him, and you're like, what's happening with the kid?
Right.
Then you've got this dad who's a poet, and he's got these 3 beautiful kids, and he's trying to help them find a better life. His only choice is to flee, but he's taking them across the Aegean Sea to try to help them find, and putting them in the most like dangerous possible scenario. And you're seeing this play out before your very eyes. And then you've got the Coast Guard captain who's trying to help save people. And he's leaving his son behind to try to do this very like selfless act. And you can see how he's incredibly pained by it.
Yeah. You just feel his pain.
You feel his pain. You
crazy.
see it in his performance, in his eyes. Like,
Oh my God, he's so good in this
Yeah.
movie. He's so good in this movie. I love asking people that at the end of the movie. Like, who's your favorite? And it's a confusing answer because
it's
you're like,
confusing.
because it might be fueled by hate. By hating a character, but
well,
loving them at the same time. It's like,
You're
it's
talking
very-
about the smuggler. Like,
Yeah.
you might hate him, but you love him. But it might not even be hate. It might be like in that case, like even in the smuggler's case, like there's a part of me in that smuggler, because
How?
well, I detest what he was doing. I detest it. But I met with the smuggler on the Aegean, and when I met with the West African smuggler on the banks of the Aegean Sea in Turkey and had pizza with him, I'm sitting there going, what do I have in common with this person? And because I couldn't just like sit there and hate the guy, I had to find things in common with him. And
Like what you did back in school.
had to find something in common. And the things that he and I had in common was we both loved our kids, and we both wanted what was best for our boys. And the things that I really could understand about him was he was working, doing what he was doing. And I believe that he was working, doing what he was doing in large part for his kid. Now, I hate what he was doing. And I hate that he was sending these people that I love, that he'd sent many of them to their death. And I could tell that like he was indifferent to it, because he was like, if I do it or somebody else does it, it doesn't matter. Someone else is going to do it if I don't. I do believe that. But I said to him, well, why does it have to be you? And he said, well, it has to be me because I need to make money for my kid. So the fact that he like was working very hard for his kid, you know, I tried to channel that part of that character, like separating that part of that character that I work very hard for my kids. Like I tried to channel that back into that character.
Well, you did.
Yeah.
You did.
I mean, so my idea of a really good character in a story or in life is people are not black and white. They are not. No one ever is. And if a character is really a good character, like, okay, let's go back to Pulp Fiction real quick. Like those characters, they're these gangsters, but they're likable, right? Those guys, Samuel L. Jackson, that
I've
movie.
never seen the movie.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
You know what my favorite movie is. I'm not good at this.
But is that true? You've never seen Pulp Fiction?
I probably have.
What? Have you really never seen Pulp Fiction?
I don't think so.
Let's just edit that part out.
No, keep it. I don't watch anything. I don't watch
Okay, but
TV.
we're
I
gonna
don't
watch that then before we watch.
Of
One
course,
Battle
we're gonna
After
watch
Another.
that. But you're like, and then you did right, and I'm like, I don't know.
Okay, well, anyway, that's hard to hear.
I know. I'm so sorry.
Those characters, they're gangsters, but they're funny and they're likable, and I mean, they're tricky. So,
Like we all are,
like we all are.
right?
No one is like one dimensional, and this guy's not. And so he's a great character. I think it's the best character that Omar has played in a very, very long time.
I agree with you.
I think it's like his greatest character that he's played, and
And he's a big star.
yeah, he's a big star.
You got a lot of amazing talent in this film, several of which I've met. And my favorite, I'm going to say who my favorite is.
Okay,
My favorite, you know this, is the captain.
well, he's also like
The
one of your
Coast Guard is.
It's one of your favorite people in the world.
Yes, but I said that before I even met him.
Yeah, that's true.
So there's that. But every single actor in this movie, every single moment in this film, you can't help but just be on the edge of your seat or in tears. Like it's like those are your two things you're doing. So like bring a box of Kleenex and like just be ready to like be engaged, because this movie looks like, and I never knew any of this, right? I know what it costs to make a TV show.
Yeah.
I know what it costs to renovate a house. But when I watched the movie, I was like, I don't even know what this would cost. But going to these film festivals with people that know film, they're like, this is a $20 million movie.
It's not, but yeah.
Well, how did you do that? So people thinking it was a $20 million movie, and you saying to them, and I watched this over and over, you're like, I made this movie for $6 million. And people were like, how the hell did you make this look like this Hollywood blockbuster, action-packed? I mean, the bombing scene is like, you were doing that in Jordan,
Yeah.
in Amman.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know how the hell you did that.
Yeah. That was a very tricky scene, but we literally we took the apartment where we did that bombing scene, and then it was like a true Hollywood scene where we remade that apartment, but we cut it in half. And
Didn't you just have like one day to get it?
we had 2 days to get it. It was, and those were our most expensive days, which is hard to believe given that all our other days were shot in the Aegean Sea. And the water days were shot in the Aegean Sea, like on the Aegean. And those were very tricky days, but this was particularly expensive because we had blocked a main artery of Amman, like main traffic of Amman, Jordan. But yeah, we just had a lot that it was like the ultimate experience in guerrilla filmmaking, like guerrilla, like, I mean,
That's what it is.
It was guerrilla indie filmmaking at its best. And when things didn't go our way, we made them. We literally made lemonade out of lemons.
And the whole time you're making this movie, you're rewriting things in the moment.
All the time. And the actors were amazing because also we're doing these long takes. Like we have one scene on a boat that was ended up being cut down to like 4.5 minutes. At one point I had the full scene running where I just had let the camera run. It was like a 7.5 minute scene that I was gonna run all the way out, and I just cut it down because I felt like it was maybe a little bit of vanity letting it
even
run.
with you cutting it, like
It's still
as
a pretty
viewer, you're on that boat with those refugees.
And at some point I'll release it, but like it's kind of incredible to see, like when I showed Constantine the actor how I wanted to do the scene, like I acted it out for him. Like literally, have I ever shown you that?
No.
Like all the way through?
No.
I'm like in a Tampa Bay Bucks hat and like
No, you've shown me none of it.
oh, it's really funny and cool. But I showed him on the boat with like the water coming down. Okay, here's how we're doing it.
You mean how you showed him like you're gonna do this and then you're gonna get this,
do
and then
this,
you're gonna
and
go
you grab
open
this
the
pole
door.
and you open this door, and then you drag her out of the water. Like and he did it beat for beat, and it's literally, I mean, it's incredible. I mean, everyone was incredible. He was remarkable.
Insane.
And like every actor along the way, like here's another one. Yasmin, I bet you didn't know this. Yasmin did not know how to swim. She did those stunts coming out of the water with all those waves and things. She learned to swim there.
Oh my God.
In Turkey. Like crazy. Like she had to do that because of that scene to be shot in one like that. Like,
yeah, she had to.
She had to do it. I mean, unbelievable.
Constantine's swim scene.
His swim scene.
Where you were going to do it?
I was going to get my hair cut and do the stunt myself. And he's like, I'll do it. He'd never been scuba diving before. And he goes down in the water. Weighted him down. He does the oxygen tank. We had like no time to do it because the Turkish stunt guy could not do the stunt, and he does it on his own. It was amazing what we got.
Yes, what you went through and how you guys, two things that you told me about the movie. While you're making it, you are being approached by what boat? You were in
So on one of the scenes, we're out in the middle of the Aegean Sea, and we're shooting this, like, we're at dusk, so we get 2 shots at this, like, it's the finale scene. And we only get 2 shots at it, and it's a very emotional scene. And we, all of a sudden, we see in the distance this big, like, destroyer ship. And we hear over the radio, like, in English, Greek Coast Guard, because our boat is a Greek Coast Guard looking ship. Greek Coast Guard, you've come into Turkish waters. Please report what you're doing, and, like, some very official language. And I turned to the DP, and I'm like, well, we're about to find out if those Turkish film permits are real. I would say it was like I would say 50-50 at best that they were.
They were.
They were.
Thank God.
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Yeah. We would have all been boarded by that ship, and we would have been in prison. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And then what was the other one with the kids? When the kids were there?
Oh, you mean where we got jumped?
Yeah, that one.
Oh gosh. Yeah. So it was like our last night. It was supposed to be our easiest night. So, like, everything was real. Like, we were shooting on the Aegean, like, down on the banks of the Aegean Sea. And of course, you know the ending now because I blew it. But it was our easiest night, our last night. 3 shots, like 3 setups. And we're driving down to the second setup. My son, True, my youngest, was working on the film crew. I thought he had already gone down to the setup for the second shot. And I'm in the second van. So as we pull up to the second setup, all of a sudden, as the van comes to a stop, a giant rock goes through the windshield of the van. And I'm like, what in the hell? And the girl that was the stunt double for one of the girls from the Poet's story comes screaming and running onto the bus, and she's yelling in Turkish. And the driver says, the stunt guys are over there fighting with some guys. And I'm like, why would the stunt guys be fighting? Like, they're the nicest guys. Who would they be fighting? So I get out of the van, and this guy tries to hit me with a haymaker. And I'm like, I mean, I'm not like fast or like a good fighter.
You said you're fast.
Okay, but I'm not. I'm not that fast. But the guy was wildly drunk, so it was like kind of coming in slow motion. So I ducked the haymaker, and I like shoved the guy out of the way, and I run over and I see it. Our stunt guys are fighting, and like one of the ADs, one of the assistant directors, grabs me and he's like, "We have to get everybody out of here. Like, we're in trouble." I'm like, "Where? Like, call the police." And he's like, "The police are right there." And I see the police are standing there looking at the ocean away from the fight. And I'm like, I walk over to the cop and he's got a gun on his hip. And I grab him and I put my hand on his gun. And I go, "Hey, point your gun at those guys." And he's just like, and just looks the other way. Well, it was the smugglers who had been smuggling. They weren't smuggling people anymore from this beach like they had early on when I had seen, like in the early days of the refugee crisis, when I had seen people being smuggled from this beach. But now, because it had been more controlled, they were running guns and drugs from that beach to the Greek island of Kos. You know, the Greek island of Kos. And we had interrupted their smuggling operation. So they were upset, and they were... and so they were taking it out on us. God. So we didn't get any more of our, like, we lost 2 setups, which I thought were going to be a big deal. One of them was like the family runs through the woods.
Yeah.
So we get the family coming down through the trees, these like amazing, like hundreds and hundreds of year old olive trees from this forest. And then in this place called Kusadasi, Turkey, it's where we had shot a bunch of the other, like the stuff where the family's running through the forest anyway. It was just one of them running down. And then the second one was where they come out and they see the water for the first time. So I was like, this is devastating. We lost these 2 shots, which I really needed. And I'm like trying to figure out how much is it going to cost to go back and shoot these. We're going to have to go back and shoot them. But it was going to be like $200,000.
Oh God.
And I'm like, well, we don't.
You didn't do it.
No, because we
No.
couldn't afford it.
You didn't need it.
In the end, we didn't need it.
Of course you didn't need it.
In the end, we didn't need it. But I was like, well, how are we going to do this? We need it. We didn't need it. But that
Probably
was
would have been cool.
maybe. But
I mean, you went through hell making this movie.
I lost my toenails, my 2 big
They're back.
They're back now, though.
But you lost them.
I did lose them. Yep.
They fell right off.
Fell right off.
But now you've got a beautiful pedicure and you have a
That's
film
not good
coming
right now.
out what is next for you? Even though I know because people are going to want more from you.
Well, next I want to do this story on the movie on this. It's the story of Roy Benavidez. He's the last Medal of Honor recipient from the Vietnam War. And
I have learned everything about this man.
I
We went
love
to the
this
Reagan
man.
Museum.
Yeah.
He's only
You know
like
his family.
Yeah, there was only 2 recipients during the Reagan presidency of the
Preach.
Medal of Honor.
Yeah.
And his family's amazing. His story's amazing. But again, the historical fiction, the writing is brilliant. The original name was 6 Hours in Hell.
Yeah, but now I'm calling it American.
I love both of them.
Yeah. I mean,
Why do you not? Because 6 Hours in Hell is like, I want to see that movie.
Yeah.
American is like the big Hollywood title. What is it? Why did you go with American? You never told me that.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where it ends up. It's working title. We'll see. I mean, the reason I love this story is because here's this guy, this amazing guy who really he was left for nothing. He should have he was orphaned at a very young age, and he should have just, folded into the nothingness of America. But he said, no, I'm not, that's not going to be my path. And he found himself in the military, and he goes on to become this great American war hero. And I think it's an amazing story for America, but I think it's an amazing story of just the human spirit.
It's insane.
So like and like all those words sound like big, kind of like hyperbole, but it's just I think
it's a person you need to know.
It's like
It's a
this
story you need to hear.
It's like American Sniper and Lone Survivor and like more recent movies like that warfare movie, and then like I want to shoot it with kind of like the beauty of like a Terrence Malick movie. So I think that's what I'm thinking of next. If I can
I'm so excited. I can't wait to watch you do it now.
Yeah.
All the way through.
I'm so excited about it. I want to shoot it as soon as True graduates. I want to go shoot it.
I know.
So
one step at a time.
Do it. Yeah.
Now it's go time for I Was a Stranger. I am beyond excited. I cannot wait. I'm not kidding. Everyone's gonna love this movie, and you're just starting. So.
Thanks for doing this.
Are you kidding? I'm so excited.
For dressing up, and you
I
remodeled
dressed up
this
because we're going to dinner with your parents.
and you remodeled this beautiful
I remodeled the whole studio.
this whole house.
No.
Just for this.
We're in Utah. This just felt right. Remember, you were going to do it back in Vegas,
Yeah.
but it didn't feel right the night of the funeral.
Yeah. This is a good place.
This
to do
is
it.
a perfect place.
Yeah.
And it's go time. We're putting the tree up tonight.
Yeah. Okay.
The holidays are here. January 9th is a new year. It's
Cue
a
the
new
jingle bells.
new year, new you.
Cue
But
the
like I'm going to be your biggest fan forever.
Thank you.
And
I'm your biggest fan.
I know you are.
I am.
So now
I'm
just
your biggest fan.
come to the side of like just staying in that moment.
Of
Keep
being your
remembering
biggest
it.
fan?
Yeah, because no, of being your biggest fan.
Oh. Yeah, well, I mean, I'll be my second biggest fan. I'm your
That's
biggest
the
fan, and then I'm
problem.
going to be my biggest.
Try to work on being your
Okay.
your biggest fan for
I got
yourself.
it. I got it. I got it.
It's time to work on
gonna
all
work.
that.
I'm going
But
to work on it.
I know you are.
I'll shoot Benavides. I'll shoot the Benavides film, and then there'll be time for that.
What?
I'm just kidding.
Oh, good. I was like, no.
I'm just
No,
kidding.
thank you. Okay. January 9th. Check it out. Go on. I'm going to do the link for people to go and find a theater near you. But this is going to be
Should be everywhere. It's supposed to be on like over 2,000 screens.
2,300 screens
2,300
across
screens.
this country and then internationally. So it's going to be at a theater near you. I can't wait for you to see the man that I love through this lens. And like I said, I'm going to link it. So I love you. I'm so proud of you. And it's go time.
Love you. Thank you.